The galaxy had long whispered of the Empire, a colossus that swept across the stars like a storm, leaving ruin in its wake. Their Conquest fleet, a monstrous armada of starships bristling with advanced weaponry, had become synonymous with annihilation. Entire civilizations had vanished before them, their histories reduced to dust in the cosmic wind. Now they had set their sights on Earth, a backwater planet that dared to shine too brightly in the cosmic dark. The fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, their hulls gleaming like onyx against the void. Thousands of ships, each the size of a small city, dwarfed the human satellites and space stations orbiting Earth. It was a spectacle of overwhelming might, designed not just to conquer but to instill absolute terror. From the command ship, the supreme commander of the Empire surveyed the blue planet, a predator sizing up its cornered prey. Humanity was woefully outmatched. The Empire's ships carried weapons that could scorch continents and shields impervious to known technologies. Earth had no interstellar fleet, no planetary defenses that could withstand such power. Yet the people of Earth stood united. For decades, humanity had fought amongst itself, squabbling over borders, ideologies, and resources. But when the Empire's scouts first arrived, it forced a reckoning. Survival became the only goal. Earth's response to the Empire's approach was swift and defiant. A single broadcast was sent in reply to the Empire's demand for surrender: "We are not afraid." Short, resolute, and, to the Empire, utterly foolish. But within that defiance lay a desperate hope. Behind the scenes, humanity had poured its collective will into one final gambit: Project Aegis. No one outside Earth's highest circles truly understood what Project Aegis was. Rumors swirled among the populace. Some claimed it was a superweapon, others believed it to be an untested defensive system. What was clear, however, was that all of humanity's resources, knowledge, and innovation had been funneled into its creation. Scientists, engineers, and military strategists from every nation worked in secret, spurred by a singular truth: failure meant extinction. As the Empire's fleet moved into formation, their intent was clear. This was not just an invasion, it was a demonstration. The Supreme Commander issued a final ultimatum, his voice broadcast across Earth's channels: "Surrender and your planet will be spared. Resist and your existence will be erased." The world fell silent. In cities and towns across Earth, people gathered around screens, their hearts pounding with fear and determination. Every individual, regardless of creed or nation, understood that this was their moment. The countdown began in the Empire's command ship, a ritual of inevitability. Victory was never in question for the Empire. Earth was merely the next line in an unbroken chain of conquests. But humanity had not spent its time in vain. As the Empire's fleet loomed closer, Earth's leaders gave the signal. Project Aegis was ready. Humanity's gamble would soon be revealed, and the galaxy would learn that Earth was not as helpless as it seemed. The Empire's fleet unleashed its first wave with clinical precision. Massive energy beams shot toward Earth's orbital satellites, tearing through them like paper. The debris rained down on the planet, streaking the atmosphere with fiery trails. The Supreme Commander observed the assault with detached satisfaction. This was the standard protocol: dismantle communications, obliterate defenses, and then commence planetary bombardment. Resistance, if any, would crumble quickly under the sheer weight of their firepower. But Earth did not respond in kind. No counterattack came, no panicked transmissions or desperate maneuvers. The silence was unnerving even to the seasoned Imperial officers. It was as if the planet had accepted its fate, or was waiting for something. The Supreme Commander, though intrigued, dismissed the thought. It wouldn't matter soon. The next wave began, targeting Earth's surface. Ships in low orbit adjusted their trajectories, preparing to launch precision strikes on major population centers. Then, without warning, the first Imperial dreadnought disintegrated. It happened so quickly that the fleet's sensors barely registered the event. One moment the massive ship was there, and the next, it was reduced to a cloud of glowing fragments. Confusion rippled through the fleet. Before they could react, another ship exploded, and then another. Panic spread as the Empire's supposedly invincible armada found itself under attack from an unseen force. The Supreme Commander barked orders, demanding answers, but the fleet's instruments detected nothing. No ships, no weapons, no signatures, just the systematic annihilation of their forces. On Earth, Project Aegis came to life. Buried deep within the planet's crust, it was the culmination of humanity's greatest minds and their refusal to accept defeat. Unlike the Empire's brute force technology, Aegis operated on principles the Empire had yet to understand. Quantum entanglement, energy manipulation and AI-driven precision combined to create a defense system that was as invisible as it was unstoppable. Aegis didn't fire conventional weapons. It disrupted the fundamental integrity of matter itself. The Empire's ships, no matter how large or advanced, simply unraveled at the molecular level. One by one, the massive vessels disintegrated, their destruction eerily quiet against the backdrop of space. The Supreme Commander watched in stunned disbelief as his fleet, the pride of the Empire, was obliterated in mere seconds. The counterattack was so surgical, so absolute, that it bordered on the surreal. Ships that tried to retreat found their engines failing, their shields collapsing. Even the fleet's command ship, protected by layers of defenses, succumbed to the invisible onslaught. In less than a minute, the Empire's mighty armada was reduced to scattered debris orbiting Earth. For the first time in his career, the Supreme Commander felt fear. He had faced countless enemies, crushed civilizations, and expanded the Empire's reach across the stars. But he had never encountered anything like this. Earth's response was not just a defense, it was a declaration. Humanity was no helpless prey. It was a predator, silent and waiting, with teeth the Empire had never imagined. As the remnants of the fleet floated lifelessly, Earth sent out a single message: leave now or share their fate. The aftermath of the battle was a surreal blend of silence and disbelief. Across Earth, humanity watched as the live feeds of the sky, once filled with the imposing shapes of the Empire's ships, now showed nothing but scattered debris glinting faintly in orbit. The impossible had happened. Against all odds, Earth had survived, and not merely survived, it had triumphed. In cities around the globe, the realization began to sink in. Cheers erupted from streets and homes, the kind of raw, unrestrained joy that came only when hope had seemed lost. Strangers embraced, tears streamed down faces, and the world exhaled a collective sigh of relief. It wasn't just victory, it was vindication. Humanity, so often underestimated even by itself, had faced a galactic power and emerged victorious. But amid the celebrations, there was a quiet understanding of what this meant. The obliteration of the Empire's fleet wasn't just a defensive success, it was a message that would echo across the stars. Earth was no longer an anonymous planet in a distant corner of the galaxy. It was a name that would be spoken with a mix of awe and caution. In command centers and briefing rooms, leaders and scientists reflected on what had just occurred. Project Aegis had worked flawlessly, but its success was as sobering as it was exhilarating. The technology, so advanced that it bordered on the incomprehensible, was a double-edged sword. It had saved humanity, but it also marked them as a civilization capable of unimaginable destruction. The question now was how to wield that power responsibly in a universe that would surely take notice. The remnants of the Empire's fleet scattered into the void, the few surviving ships retreating into hyperspace. Their escape wasn't a retreat, it was a warning to their superiors. Reports would reach the Empire's core worlds, detailing the annihilation of their mightiest armada by an unknown force. Within the halls of their leadership, this defeat would not be taken lightly. Back on Earth, the gravity of the situation wasn't lost on its people. The battle may have been won, but it was clear this wasn't the end. The Empire, humiliated and enraged, would regroup. They would come back, perhaps with an even greater force, armed with the knowledge of their first defeat. Humanity had bought time, but how much was uncertain. Even so, the victory sparked something profound in humanity. For the first time in history, the divisions that had plagued the planet felt insignificant. The survival of Earth had required a unity that transcended borders, politics, and ideologies. That unity, born of necessity, was now sustained by purpose. The realization was simple but powerful. Humanity was stronger together, and their survival depended on maintaining that strength. Project Aegis became a symbol not just of power but of resilience and ingenuity. It reminded humanity of what they could achieve when driven by the will to survive. As Earth's leaders began preparations for the future, the people of the planet stood resolute. They had faced the darkness and emerged as a light that refused to be extinguished. Earth would not go quietly into the night, it was here to stay. In the wake of the battle, Earth stood on the precipice of a new era. The victory over the Empire's fleet had transformed humanity's place in the universe overnight. No longer just a solitary species on a small blue planet, humanity had proven it could challenge the stars and win. But with that victory came responsibility, and the awareness that this was only the beginning. Leaders from every nation convened in emergency summits, not to celebrate but to prepare. The Empire would return, of that there was no doubt. Their pride, their history of dominance, and their need to maintain control would drive them to seek retribution. Earth had to be ready, not just for the Empire's retaliation, but for the attention of countless other civilizations now aware of their existence. Project Aegis, once shrouded in secrecy, became the cornerstone of Earth's defense strategy. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to refine and expand its capabilities. The technology that had saved humanity was far from perfect, and its immense power carried risks. Earth could not afford complacency. They needed to stay ahead, innovating and evolving in ways that the galaxy wouldn't expect. At the same time, humanity began reaching out to the stars. Probes and communication signals were sent beyond the solar system, not as pleas for help, but as deliberate messages of strength and intent. Earth wasn't looking for conflict, but it wasn't hiding either. They sought allies among the stars, other civilizations that might stand with them against the Empire, or at least recognize the value of cooperation over conquest. The message to the Empire itself was simple and unwavering: we do not seek war, but we will not run from it. If you come again, you will face the same fate. It wasn't arrogance or bravado. It was a statement of fact, delivered with the calm certainty of a species that had found its place in the universe. Humanity had no intention of becoming conquerors, but neither would they allow themselves to be conquered. For the first time in centuries, Earth's focus shifted outward. Space exploration, once driven by curiosity and competition, became a necessity. The stars held both opportunity and danger, and humanity intended to face both with open eyes. Colonization efforts began anew with a clear goal: to ensure the survival of humanity beyond the confines of a single planet. Among the people of Earth, the victory sparked a profound change. Hope replaced fear and determination replaced despair. The knowledge that they had stood against the might of an empire and emerged victorious instilled a sense of purpose. This was no longer just a fight for survival, it was the start of something greater. Humanity wasn't just defending itself, it was carving out its place in the cosmos. And yet, in the quiet moments, there was reflection. The cost of such power, the burden of such responsibility, weighed heavily on the shoulders of those who understood its implications. Earth's leaders knew that their greatest challenge wasn't defeating the Empire, it was ensuring that humanity's strength would be used wisely. They had become a force to be reckoned with, but it was their choices that would define what kind of force they would be. As Earth turned its gaze to the stars, the future remained uncertain. But one thing was clear: humanity had made its mark. The galaxy would never be the same. And no matter what came next, Earth would face it with the resolve of a species that had earned its place in the infinite expanse.